Hello and welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment 2017 NBA Mock Draft 2.0. But before I get into that, two things I have to apologize for. Number one, my air conditioning unit is broke. So about halfway in this video, I will start sweating, but I will continue. But I will try to get this done as quickly as possible. I'm literally living in hell. It is 90 degrees outside. This sucks. Number two, haven't been putting out too much content lately. I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week. As I told y'all a couple months ago, I'm screwed. But in the meantime, I will upload videos, just not quietly as often. So, with that said, let's talk about this mock draft. Number one, Boston Celtics, they still take Markelle, Fultz, point guard, out of Washington. He'll probably play shooting guard for them. Dynamic scorer, he'd help them on that end. And I personally think if the Celtics add Markelle, Fultz, and Gordon Hayward, they'll be on par with the Cleveland Cavaliers next season. They're already going to be better than them in the regular season. They were better than them this regular season. But they could win 60 games to me next regular season and then potentially beat them in the playoffs to me unless the Cavs make a big move. That's my personal belief. You don't have to agree with me there. But I think Markelle Fultz and Gordon Hayward make up about 1 or 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. We look at number 2. Los Angeles Lakers. I have them passing on Lonzo Ball and taking Josh Jackson, the defensive dynamic forward out of Kansas. Now, apparently they're 50-50 right now, and I was for a long time, but now I slightly prefer Josh Jackson over Lonzo Ball, and I think they do as well because sooner or later, the Lakers have to start playing defense. And Josh Jackson has the highest upside in this draft in terms of being a two-way player because he could be an elite top 5 NBA defender and a pretty damn elite offensive player, top 15 offensive player. He has that upside to him. I think they see that. I think they're enticed by that. You're talking about having Josh Jackson and Brandon Ingram on the wing. That's a scary duo to me. We look at number 3. Lonzo Ball going to the 76ers. Now, apparently the Sixers want to play Ben Simmons at point guard. And that's what they're going to do under head coach Brett Brown. But to me, if Lonzo Ball is available, you take him. You have both he and Ben Simmons. Remember, Ben Simmons played with D'Angelo Russell in high school. They played really well off of each other. I think Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball would play well off each other too. And Ben Simmons, yes, you can play him at the point guard position if you really want to. But to me, play him like how the Cavs play LeBron James. You play him at the 3 or the 4. You let Ben Simmons operate in the post a lot because, by the way, that's where you want Ben Simmons. Like, whenever he's not distributing or facilitating in transition or just in terms of passing the ball from the top of the key, you want him in the post. That's where he makes a lot of his money offensively. So, to me, put him at the 3 or the 4, preferably the 4 to me, and then you still have a point guard in Lonzo Ball who can hit the occasional open 3 while Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid go to work downstairs. Now, trade Jahlil Okafor, you have to do that, but then now we're talking about having something if you're the 76ers. So, to me, this is the move. And people think that I don't like Lonzo Ball. I really like Lonzo Ball. I just prefer Josh Jackson a little bit, but Lonzo Ball will be an all-star player to me. And the more I think about it, who does he really score like? Not in terms of his shooting motion, but just in terms of what he does scoring-wise, getting layups and a bunch of three-pointers. Steph Curry. He does have some Steph Curry upside to him, now that I think about it. We look at number 4. Phoenix Suns take Jayson Tatum out of Duke. And, you know, the Suns could go in all kinds of directions here. Something tells me they're going to be idiots and they're going to take power forward Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State. This would be a foolish mistake to me. Yes, he can play the 3. Don't put him at the 3. My God. You have to put him at the 4 or even the 5 to me in time when he puts on some more weight. But you're talking about having Dragan, Bender, Marquise, Chris, and Jonathan Isaac. I mean, come on, man. Can y'all just make good decisions in Phoenix? This is why y'all are a damn disaster. Y'all lost Isaiah Thomas. Y'all lost Goran Dragic. I mean, this is what's wrong with the Suns. They don't know what they're doing in that front office. The best thing they ever did was they sat and they took Devin Booker. If it wasn't for that, they'd win 10 games. Anyway, we move on from that. And have them taking Jayson Tatum. And we'll see what they do. This is a smart pick, which is probably why they won't do it. We look at number 5, Sacramento Kings. They're going to take De'Aaron Fox if he's available to me. I hear they love De'Aaron Fox. And remember, last year they loved Buddy Hield because he performed well in the March Madness tournament. De'Aaron Fox performed well in the March Madness tournament. It's a nice fit there. And by the way, I was looking at Buddy Hield's stats. This guy averaged 15 points per game for the Kings last season. This guy's pretty good. So pair him with De'Aaron Fox would be decent because Fox just can't shoot threes. He just can't do it to save his life. He'll never be able to do it. 24% three-point percentage in college. That's a guy that will never shoot it well to me. So with that said, I don't love that, but he and Buddy Hield could be nice. Could be interesting, and then hopefully next year you tank. To me, hopefully you tank, and then you take a big-time center in DeAndre Ayton or Mohamed Bamba. We move on to number 6, Orlando Magic. Now, today, I have them going with Malik Monk out of Kentucky. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I have them taking Dennis Smith. I'll tell you right now, next week, I'll probably have them taking Dennis Smith. But I just wanted to switch things up just in case, and have them taking Malik Monk today. It just depends who performs better in the workouts and who they like better on tape, obviously. Personally, I'd take Dennis Smith. I wouldn't look back. Screw Elfrid Payton. I'm sick of Elfrid Payton. He just can't do anything other than playing defense. And the occasional decent pass, but he's such a marginal player to me. Get rid of him or just bench him. Personally, get rid of him because I don't think he's going to be a good six-man or a good bench player anyway. Why do you want a defensive point guard? I don't want that coming off of the bench. I want an idiot that'll come in, shoot stupid threes, make nice passes, and leave. That's what I want out of a backup point guard. So we'll see what they do with him. But anyway, Malik Monk goes there today. We'll see what I have next week, but it'll probably be Dennis Smith. Number 7, Minnesota Timberwolves. They select Jonathan Isaac, the power forward out of Florida State. Now, this is a perfect pick for them. Jonathan Isaac is not going to be a star. He's not that aggressive offensively. He's never going to be that potent offensively to me. But pairing him with Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, and Karl-Anthony Towns would be great because he can just have a nice role. Score probably this year maybe like 9, 10 points a game. Eventually maybe 14, maybe 15 points per game. Get a bunch of rebounds. Average about anywhere from 8 to 10 rebounds per game. Average a block a game. You know, shoot well from outside, shoot well from inside, and be a nice starter. Be a good starter in the NBA. Perfect role for him. If the Suns are taking Jonathan Isaac because they expect this guy to be a big-time star, you're going to be sorely mistaken there. That's not his type of player to me. But playing him with the Timberwolves, I like that pairing right there. Look at the New York Knicks. At number 8, they select Dennis Smith Jr., the point guard out of NC State. Would be a great pick for the New York Knicks, man. I would love this pick. I love Dennis Smith. He's the 4th overall player on my big board right behind Fultz, Jackson, and Ball. I love Dennis Smith, and this guy's going to be an absolute steal to me. If Dennis Smith played on Kentucky instead of De'Aaron Fox, we'd be talking about Smith getting drafted over De'Aaron Fox, but unfortunately that was not the case for Dennis Smith. So sad. We look at number 9, Frank Ntilikina, the point guard out of France, and personally, I'm not a big Ntilikina fan. I like his wingspan. I like his defensive potential. I like his passing at times, but way too turnover prone to me. His shooting streak was actually decent, and I think it'll be a little bit upgraded version of Emmanuel Mudiay. He'll be better than Mudiay. Mudiay just kind of stinks, honestly. I think he's going to start maybe one more year, and that's it, if he's lucky. He may not even start this year. So we'll see what happens with him. But Ntilikina has some nice upside, but to me, there's a huge drop-off from the top 4 point guards and Ntilikina. We'll look at number 10, Sacramento Kings. Now, I'm very conflicted about this spot because they currently have Skal Labissière, the power forward they drafted last year out of Kentucky, who had a nice end to his rookie year. Had about 32 points in one game, averaged about 8 points per game, but he didn't play for most of the year. He had an encouraging year. Would they go with the Markkanen, who would, to me, be the best player available here, or Zach Collins, who actually I do prefer over Markkanen? I went with Markkanen today. Maybe next week I'll go with Zach Collins. But it just depends what they want, what flavor they want. But don't reach for a Justin Jackson because you feel you need a small forward. Don't do that. That's a terrible decision to make. You take the best player available to me, or at least a player of value or being close of value. Justin Jackson would not be close to value to me. It's going to be a tough pick here. I think after the top 8 prospects, I see a lot of role players, man. I don't see many starters in this draft at all. People talk about this draft being so talented. I think it's a good draft. I don't think it's a great draft at all. I think we're going to have maybe 4 or 5 All-Stars coming out of the top 10, and then that's about it. You know, I don't see many of these guys really contributing much in the NBA at all, but we'll see. So beyond the top 10, some interesting things to me. Harry Giles, he goes all the way to 15 to the Portland Trail Blazers. I heard this rumor. I heard that the Blazers want to take Giles at 15. I'm rolling with this rumor. It makes sense to me. The Blazers have 3 first-round picks. They can afford to take a chance on Harry Giles, who I like. Okay, I was just talking about how not a lot of these players in the middle and late of the first round have a lot of upside. Harry Giles does. This guy could be a starting and impactful starting center in the NBA. I'm buying into this guy. Now, he has his fair share of issues, but I think people are a little too critical of him, saying he's not a good rebounder. I call BS. He was a great rebounder in high school, and per 40 minutes in college, averaged about 13.3 rebounds per 40 minutes. He's a great rebounder, very athletic, very fluid, but the injury concerns are a concern, and that's why he's not a top 10 grade to me. But this guy's a lot of upside, and I'm willing to bet on that before I bet on Justin Jackson, okay, or Rodions Kurucs, or Terrence Ferguson. I'm willing to bet on that, and I think they are too. Beyond that, we have a bunch of just random players going. Jarrett Allen, Ike Anigbogu, John Collins. I have random international players going. Rodions Kurucs and Angex Pasaniks. I mean, come on. We don't know what's going to happen. If you're criticizing me because how dare you have the Raptors drafting Rodions Kurucs, we're not going to draft Rodions Kurucs, you idiot. Who cares? Can you relax? It's a damn mock draft. Let me just mock random players to random teams. Okay, and then leave me alone. All right, so there you go. That is my 2017 NBA mock draft 2.0. What are your thoughts on this mock draft? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.